Alright, so I'm going to be headed back into the Energon verse with Duke. Knowing is half the battle. This is our first foray into the G.I. Joe side of the ever-growing Energon verse over at Image Comics. This comic was written by Joshua Williamson, artwork by Tom Riley, and Jordi Belair on art. I looked at the thing right here instead of going through the whatever. Shut up. Yeah. So this was sent to me by my friend Chris. Chris, thank you once again, brother. And I was so excited to read this. I've been loving the Energon series so far with Void Rivals and Transformers, those two volumes. I'm excited to get... I really can't wait for the next few trades of those comics to come out. And I was very excited for this and the other book that was going to be the setup for the G.I. Joe side of the Energon verse. So, this comic, if you guys remember, in the Transformers comics by Daniel Warren Johnson, there's a quick scene where during a battle, Starscream kills a pair of fighter pilots, and one of them is Duke. One of them turns out to be Duke and actually wounds Starscream. Well, this comic picks up where that left off, with Duke, who has gone through some serious trauma because the guy was his friend. The other pilot was a lifelong friend of his, and now the U.S. military is not confirming that what he saw. They don't believe that Duke encountered some kind of extraterrestrial being or some kind of machine. In fact, they don't even call... the interesting thing is, they don't refer to the Transformers as aliens. They refer to them as, the best they can do. Even Duke says, I don't believe they're aliens. I believe, some other shadow organization built them. And that leads him to being forced on leave. And what happens is he encounters a group of conspiracy theorists who lead him to a dark organization only known as Mars Industries. So Duke, from there, is thrown in, after being framed, he's now thrown into a government into this deep conspiracy while being hunted by the government. So that's kind of the comic we have. Joshua Williamson is really good at doing action, very action-oriented stories. I really love the fast pace of this comic. I mean, it has to be for a 4-issue book. It really does have to bring in that kind of fast-paced energy that the series is, that the comic is, this comic series is known for. The artwork is great. I really enjoy the artwork in this book. It's kind of gritty, and it kind of showcases that, Duke is, this great American hero. These two spreads, awesome. Duke himself is very much I can't believe that this was an alien. No one even says alien. Someone, even by the end of the book, they're we think someone's building them. We don't know who, so we're going to put together the first inklings of G.I. Joe is in this book. I really like how this universe is coming together. Every comic is just a new piece, and it all feels like it's going pretty fast for bringing this universe together, but at the same time, it still feels it feels authentic. It feels natural of how quickly we're putting this G.I. Joe Transformer universe together. I especially like how they treat Baroness in this book. Baroness, for those who don't know, in this comic, she's not a member of Cobra. They actually call her in here a eco-terrorist. Not eco-terrorist, but she's a counter-revolutionary. Not even that. Get words. What do they mean, Multi? She is a revolutionary, but just became a terrorist because she was bored. In here, she is going to become a member of Joshua Williamson's upcoming G.I. Joe comic. Yeah, Baroness is a Joe, but that kind of leaves you guessing, is she going to stay a Joe in this continuity, or is she eventually going to join Cobra, or has she always been working for Cobra? That's what I like about this book, is that you're kind of left with this whole feeling of, I don't know where we're going, but I'm excited. Yeah. I also love how they treat a lot of they treat all of the characters with this level. Joshua Williamson clearly loves G.I. Joe because he uses some deep cut characters. He uses a lot of fan favorite, And for a 4-issue miniseries, the comic is actually, like, it's actually well put together. I know it says Volume 1, but I've only heard, like, I have not seen, like, if this is continue with an ongoing along with the other book that came out with it. But, yeah, this is an exciting, fast-paced comic that feels like I look at this comic and say to myself, how fucking hard is it to do a G.I. Joe live-action movie when you can do this and, you know, also reference Transformers seamlessly in the comic book? Like, I don't understand what the whole fucking I really don't understand what the fucking problem is in any shape or form. Like, I do not I don't get, like, how hard is it? Like, it's a fugitive story with some science fiction elements. This is not hard. Like, this comic this right here could be your phase 1 for G.I. Joe in a movie. So I don't understand why Hollywood keeps overcomplicating it. I really don't understand why is it so fucking hard to, you know, get that out, you know, get this out here and get that done. And it also, like, leaves a lot of question of, like, is the next, like, the first big event going to be G.I. Joe versus Transformers? Because that's where we kind of leave off with here. We leave off with this sense of, yeah, the Joes and the Transformers are on a collision course, and it's gonna be, you know, it's probably gonna be a big bloodbath if that's the case. Like, it's going to be a straight up, you know, that's gonna be our first event, is watching the Joes and the Autobots warring it out. And that's probably going to be an awesome event when we get to that. I also really enjoy. This was a 5-issue miniseries. I thought it was 4. Sorry, I was looking at the back. Yeah. I also don't know if they decide to make this into an ongoing or not. If someone knows in the comments below, please let me know. But yeah, the comic just makes you excited for this new universe because it just fits in so seamlessly with what's going on with Transformers. And again, Joshua Williamson knows how to set up an action piece and pay it off with some great character heart too. So I am super excited for this comic. I am 100% down for whatever happens. I am ready for whatever happens next. This is going to be a fun ride. I am so happy that I get to see the beginnings of this universe. From Void Rivals to Transformers to this, and, you know, to the other books that are coming out. And speaking of the other books, because I know you're probably already typing in the comments, this is going to be next. This is going to be our next review. And if you ask me, like, which one I was most excited for, it was this. This is what I'm curious to see how Joshua Williamson puts together a comic book like this and set up for the Cobra side. Because we've already got, like, establishment for Destro in here, even though, yes, Destro's getting a miniseries that's going on right now. But that's this was great setup for Destro in here, and these came out simultaneously, so I wonder if you could, like, put them together and, like, showcase the two together. But anyway, so, yeah. Do I recommend Duke Knowing Is Half the Battle? Yes, absolutely. Go read this comic now. Like, go get it now. If you're still, like, learning about the still want to see the start of the Energon universe, this is the book that helps bring us to the G.I. Joe side. So, here you go. Anyway, once again, I'd like to thank my friend Chris for sending me this comic, and you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Duke? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse, and Yo Joe!